You just dropped the Glock on the floor. Yes, I dropped the Glock on the floor. Tends to happen. You'll be fine. Focus. Hey guys, Joe here, and in today's video we are taking a serious look at a review sample of a new weapon light that ThruNight sent to me. So there's going to be no fooling around in this video. So come back after the opening and I'm going to stick my finger in my nose. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. We're growing the channel, which is good. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a gun tuber. I am a content creator who happens to have well over 900 videos and 6,500 plus subscribers. So, zang! And I want to continue to grow the channel so I can keep doing things like what we're going to be talking about today. In the interest of full disclosure, the item we're looking at today, the TW10 from ThruNight, was sent to me free of charge by ThruNight. However, it is not a paid review. They are not reviewing this video before it gets uploaded. All the opinions are mine, so that is awesome. And I have one more finger to stick up. Because I'm starting to get a subscriber base, companies are reaching out to me more and more and asking me to check things out. Now, a lot of them are asking for paid reviews or ad integrations at ridiculously offensive offers. And number one, I'm not going to do a paid review ever, because that's when you sell your morals and your channel no longer becomes valid. And ad integration is fine, but I want to do it for stuff that I actually believe in. Now, if ThruNight had sent me this and then said, hey, we'd like to do ad integration later, we could talk about that if I like the product. Spoiler, I like the product. One thing that impressed me right off the bat was the price of the ThruNight weapons light system. This thing is about 50 bucks. It's plus or minus $10 depending on where you buy it from. But for $50 to get the features this thing has is pretty damn impressive. Now, Liberty Arms, a store I work for once or twice a month, they carry Olight and Streamlight and all that stuff. And I'm going to give this a long-term review as well as this short review. And in that time, if this thing holds up as well as it appears to be holding up, we may have to start carrying this as well. So go ahead and Google Liberty Arms, Harrisonburg, Virginia, all that good stuff. And again, I will have a link to this in the description. But this guy is basically a direct competitor for Streamlight and Olight at a lower price point. Again, in the $50 to $60 range for an LED rechargeable weapons light system is pretty cool. Now, it comes in this dense foam case. Did come in a little protective baggie, which a lot of them come in. I just happened to be using it for the last 4 days, so I took it out. And the box is really nice. Oh, I hate the sound of styrofoam. It comes with a manual at the bottom and a little baggie, which took me a minute to go through. It's got a couple of O-rings, which is nice to have, a little Allen key, as well as a little black thing that says 1913. Taking a look at the light itself, when it came to me, it had a little GL on the bar in there, and that stands for Glock, and the other one is for 1913. Different manufacturers such as Glock and SIG have proprietary style rails on them. In fact, I have a Glock 17 here, obviously empty. This one is from Liberty Arms. It's available for sale. I needed to borrow a Glock because I sold my 34, and I wanted to see how well it fits. So just little thumb screw on the side here, loosen it up a little bit, and it has a C-clamp so you can actually take the whole thing apart, which again is pretty convenient. And you just slide it onto the rail system. Helps if you loosen it enough to put it on there. So this is actually spring-loaded, so that's nice to have. Oop, turned it on. But it's actually spring-loaded, which will help keep it in place while you're actually tightening it up. So you just put it right on. You can see it just went right onto the gun. And then you just use your thumbs and your fingers and the things on your hands. If you happen to have a robot hand, that would probably be more awesome, because then you could have a prosthetic that has a wrench. That would be awesome. I just hurt my finger. So as you can see, it's securely mounted to the gun. It has a nice bright light on it. We'll be checking that out here in a second. It has a button on either side of the light, so you can hit it with either hand, your trigger finger on your right hand or left hand, depending on which way you shoot, or your offhanded thumb. So if you hold like that or like that, you can hit it with your thumb, or you can hit it with your trigger finger. I think that's pretty intuitive, it's easy to use, and it actually is pretty dang bright for what it is. So I'm trying not to blind the camera. For example, if you look at the light on my AR-15, which is a $190 in-force light, or the light from the ThruNight, you'll see they're actually pretty close in luminosity, which is pretty impressive. Now this would definitely be enough for in the dark when you're at home. In fact, let me turn off my light real quick so you can see just how bright this light is. And I'm well behind the firearm. It is nowhere near my head, but this thing is extremely bright. Bright, not bright. Bright, not bright. Bright. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to turn the light back on. So taking it off is just as easy as putting it on. You just loosen it. And again, it's a spring-loaded retention system, which is really nice because that way you just got to pull it over whatever you're going to be attaching it to. Taking a look at the back, you'll see that it has a little rubber cover. If you open that up, you will see that this uses USB-C, which is awesome. And the cable was in the box. I took that out. Sorry, I forgot to put that back in while I've been testing it. But again, in the bag, they prepare just in case you're going to need it. They give you a second cover for the back of the light. Just in case this one gets torn or worn off or anything like that, you can replace it. Forward thinking for a $50 light. I like that. The overall build quality, this thing is a nice little weighted light. It's very similar in weight to its competitors, the Streamlights and the Olights. I don't want to just gush about this thing. I will say that I think the printing is a little gauche on it. It didn't have to be this big, and it says something on this side that it says nowhere else on the box. So is that a negative? Not really, because it's a weapon light. It's just when you have something that's all black, not flashy, and then you have something with a big bit of writing on it, it kind of makes it look like it's not real. Other than that little gripe, I think it's actually a pretty cool little piece. Taking the cap off the lens is pretty easy, so it's easily replaceable. And there's your rechargeable battery inside of it. It is a lithium-ion battery, so you're going to get long life. The thing I like about lithium-ions versus NiCads is lithium-ions will give you power as long as it possibly can at full strength. NiCads tend to wear down a little bit easier, and I say that because they still make rechargeable NiCad stuff out there. This is much better. And then of course LEDs are much more energy efficient. But yeah, that's super easy. And then you tighten it down. Now if you have a 1913 rail like this guy does, and of course I forgot my screwdriver, give me a minute. I was going to demonstrate it on this 1911 because this is a Gerson with a rail and a red dot, so I thought it would look cool, but I forgot that I put a laser on this one because this is an airsoft laser, and I wanted to see if it was accurate enough to use, and like an idiot, I forgot the screwdriver at the shop. Oops. So, what do I think of this so far? So far, after 4 or 5 days with it, I like it as I've seen it. The finish seems nice. Again, the writing on it, the labeling on it, the billboards, take it or leave it. When you have something that's all tactic cooled out like this, you don't really want something like that. That being said, that's a very minor thing, so we will be checking out the longevity of it. Also, I want to see how the finish holds up to both Kydex and leather holsters so that I can give the recommendation to customers on what would be the better holster for it. I also want to see how it holds up to 9 and 45 rounds because it doesn't say that it's designed specifically for one or the other. It just says Glock and 1913. So if it holds up well, I'm definitely going to tell you. If it explodes or breaks or snaps off the gun, I'm definitely going to tell you. Come back and probably 3 weeks or a month, I'll have a follow-up on whether or not this thing is holding up. I may even give it to my buddy Daniel to put on one of his carry pieces to see what he thinks. That's about all I can say about it. This is gone on quite long because I've refilmed it 17 times. If you like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you own one of these, let me know your experience so far. Again, it'll be in the description, probably right through their main website because it seems to be the best possible price for it. And come back for more content, including more firearm reviews, as well as, again, hopefully we'll get out to the range. I did win a big purchase of 9mm ammo so that we can go out shooting some guns. However, my Rock Island is not back yet from Rock Island, and my Rock Island 45 is still non-existent in the United States. So when something comes available, I'll definitely let you know. Come back for that, sign up, share the video, leave me a comment, and as always, I'll talk to you later.